Lisa from Life in Layouts. Thanks for joining me for another process video. Today I'm using this December 2018 page maps, this 12 by 12 sketch with the snowman on it, and I'm using Magical Adventures from Echo Park. If you watch my channel at all, you'll know that I am a pass holder, a Disney World pass holder, and I am using the Say Cheese collection for all of my photos for Disney World. Well, Kevin took me to Disneyland for my birthday this year, and I thought it would be fun to use this Magical Adventure kit for those photos. So right now I am pulling out all of the different pieces that I think I'm gonna need, and I love the tickets. I think that's such an awesome paper. I don't end up using a lot of it on this layout, but I know I will be using it for other layouts with these photos. So I am cutting out just all of the background pieces. I don't have any measurements, so I am just guessing in regards to what would look good, as well as I am using a little bit bigger photos. This sketch actually calls for a 6x4 photo on the left hand side, which I'm going to use, and then 3x3 photos or 3x4 photos on the right. But I wanted to use full 4x6 photos on the right hand side, so I do end up trimming them down a little bit, but I wanted to use full 4x6 photos on this. I really would like to get in the habit of using more 4x6 photos, just because it's easier to get those printed. Like, I don't have to worry about sizing them down or thinking about it. I just print them out. So like in my last process video, I am trying to use up more glitter paper because it's so pretty and I have tons of it. I have a full 12 by 12 sheets of paper. So I'm going to use this gold glitter paper to back the ticket paper. And I love the way that that turned out. So I do have to just trim it up just a little bit because it came from one of those packs where it was perforated, so it had a little bit of the perforation still on the paper. So now I realized that I needed to cut down the paper on the left because it did not go through the entire page itself. Like, it stops at that strip there. Now I'm doing the border with the striped paper. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information in regards to this trip. This trip was very unexpected. I did not know that we were going. Kevin is very good about planning amazing birthday trips, and this was something that I've always wanted to do, is visit Disneyland, since I do visit Disney World quite a bit. And I am so glad that he made that happen for my birthday this year. We actually just went for the weekend, so we just did one day at Disneyland. We did not do California Adventure, but it was an amazing, amazing trip. The only downside in regards to this whole trip is the camera that you will see around my neck in these photos was lost during the trip. The last place I remember having it was in the rental car as we were going towards the airport. So I don't know if I left it in the rental car or if it got taken while we were going through the airport. We have done everything we could think of to try to get this camera back, only because it had all of these photos in it that I am not able to get back. We contacted Enterprise, we contacted the airline, we contacted TSA. We were on the manhunt trying to find this, and unfortunately we could not. So the very few photos that I have these were actually, we purchased the memory maker, so these are professional photos that were taken. So I have those, the professional photos, and then I have a few photos of different things when I took them with my phone, which were not a lot. So I do plan on using some stock photos that I find online and things like that to try to make up for some of the missing photos, and then just telling the story behind not having photos from this trip. But Kevin made the comment that, well, that just means we have to make another trip. So I am perfectly fine with that, making another trip out there and seeing Disney World or Disneyland again and taking photos. One of the biggest things that I really was upset about was I got a photo with Mary Poppins and Bert, and that is not necessarily a photo that you can get at Disney World. They do have Mary Poppins, but Bert is very, very rarely out, and they are hardly ever out together. So that was one of those photos that I was so sad that I didn't get while we were, that I lost him when I lost that camera. So let's get back to the layout. Now that I've told you all this personal stuff about my trip, I am adding some of the 3x4 cards to the right-hand side where that snowman is. And instead of adding the 3 other snowmans, or really 4 snowmans on this layout, I decided to cut the 2x2 cards down and use those in place of the snowman. So I have a lot more 2x2 cards than the snowman's there, but I love the way that this turned out. So I end up putting this Magical Adventures down right underneath the photo, and then popping up every other 2x2 square. I do end up using that stripe with the big M and it says magic. That's a sticker. And then the one that I am putting the adhesive on now is a camera that was cut out from one of the border strips. So it's a little bit bigger than 2x2, but it fills in that space perfectly. And I just love the way that those came out. Then for the snowman on the far left-hand side, I put this 3x4 square. I'm looking at the best place ever because that's definitely going to work. But that's a hard thing for me to say, because is it really the best place ever? Because Disney World is definitely got my heart as well. They both kind of are up there with places that are the best place ever. So I found this card that says you and me, and it has a little mini bow on it. And I thought that was perfect because this was a trip that was just the 2 of us. We went out there for the weekend, no kids, no concerns about anything else. So also, I want to tell you guys that there is a significant with the balloons. I love the Mickey balloons, the 3 balloons that are there, but the balloons really do symbolize my relationship with Kevin, because Up is probably one of my favorite movies, first of all, and we have used that theme of the adventure is out there and the adventure is waiting in our relationships several times. Like, we will say that comment to each other. So whenever I can add balloons to a layout that includes Kevin and I will try to do that as much as possible, because I feel like that brings in the Up feeling, even if it's not an Up related page, if that makes any sense at all. So this page is actually going to be not a full journaling page. Like, I do want to do a layout with a lot of journaling. So this is going to go probably right after that page. So I didn't add a lot of journaling to this one. It was just a simple that, he was able to do this birthday trip for me, and I really enjoyed it. Then I pulled out my heart punch because I felt like I just needed a little something else. And I love this punch because it gives you so many different size and shapes of hearts that you can use throughout. And it's a perfect little addition. So I end up adding all of the hearts throughout on the 2x2 squares, as well as that 3x4 square on the side that says you and me. I put one right there with a bow. And then that's it, guys. Thanks so much for coming along with me on this adventure. I'm sorry if my voice is a little crackly. I'm still battling something, a cold of something. But I really wanted to get this layout for you guys today. If you enjoyed this process video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layouts, because that's all I do on this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a scrappy day.